Hey y'all, it's Ashley Woodruff from Woodruff Montessori. Today we are going to be prepping some wrapping paper. This bag is from our Christmas wrapping paper, but you can use birthday wrapping paper, anything, old newspapers, anything like that. And we're prepping this paper to make into craft materials for our little ones. So first, always first, sip of coffee. All you need for this is a pair of scissors, some wrapping paper, and a little patience, so maybe like 30-40 minutes. So what we do is we're going to take the old paper. Don't need this. I'm sure you can find other crafts you can do with that. And we're going to cut the craft paper into different kinds of shapes and styles for the kids to use. So one of the things I used to do in my classroom was pasting. And we would literally just get scrap paper from anything. Old construction paper, leftover, whatever our scraps were, we put them in a bucket. And then the kids would first practice cutting. Just snip, snip. They cut them in whatever shape or design they want. And then with these materials, they would make a collage. So we've got hand-eye coordination, how to use scissors, concentration, all the direct and indirect aims that we're going for. So they would use this for pasting. Again, how to paste things down, fine motor skills, hand-eye coordination, everything that you want in a Montessori lesson. Then I would also prepare just strips of the paper. And I would put just the strips of paper onto a tray with a pair of scissors, faced handle towards the right, so when they pick up, they're ready to go. And in the lesson, I would show them just how to snip. Your turn. And that's what I would say to them. I show them the example first, and if you notice how slowly I went, now as an adult, I'm like, let's get this done with. This project is a lot. I've got food on the stove. I got a baby crying. I got to go to a dentist appointment. There's too much in life going on, right? But in the classroom or in your home, if you're homeschooling, Montessori at home, you're showing each lesson 10 times slower than what you would normally do it, because children always speed up, right? So when we first show them how to do something, it's extremely slow. So I will give you the presentation again. I would clear this space, of course, so they don't have anything else to distract them. Ideally, I would have this on a tray so it has its own space, but I didn't bring a tray out here. So, coffee, I normally set to the side. I know it's so hard to do. And then I would present them with a tray, scissors, their strip of paper. The child would be seated to my left because you want to be on the dominant side, dominant hand side. Normally for a little one that's right-handed, but sometimes they don't choose which hand is going to be dominant until about 5 or 6. So maybe they want to use their left hand to cut. That's totally fine. You just have to adjust your seating to where their dominant hand is. So we're just going to pretend that little Sally normally uses her right hand to cut. So I'd position the tray with handles to the right so she can pick it up easily. and right in front of her. All right. Good morning, Sally. How are you doing? Good, me too. All right, today I'm going to give you a lesson on snipping. Put your hands in your lap and watch me first. Scissors. Paper. Your turn. Now, of course, when they get going, they're like, I'm gonna snip this paper. Remind them to slow down. Say, do you remember what I did? Show me what I did. They'll slow down a little bit. Finished. Good job. Then they'll collect the scraps, take them over to the pasting tray, because of course I have a whole different tray for pasting. There'll be a piece of paper, some paste, glue in a little jar, paintbrush, and then I'll give them the lesson on pasting and how to make a collage, okay? So we're learning a whole lot of things. This is also in your practical life section, by the way. Some people have an art section. A lot of times in Montessori classrooms, we don't have a dedicated art space unless it's like classical art or learning about paintings or art history. But I like to keep a little section actually near my practical life section that has some art skills. We don't make crafts in Montessori classrooms normally. It's not like a typical young childhood environment where we're doing crafts every day and coloring on a piece of paper. We are giving them the skills in order to create art themselves so they can be guided by themselves on how to make art. We're just giving them the skills, how to use scissors, how to use a pencil, how to paste things down. And then they can go and explore that on their own. So today, like I said, I collected, we were at my in-laws for Christmas, and of course the whole living room exploded in wrapping paper. And I was like, everybody freeze. Don't throw away the wrapping paper. Bag it up for me. I'm going to make some art strips, some squares for just random cutting, snipping strips, and different things like that as a prep for not only my son at home to do a few projects, but I'm actually going to donate the rest to his classroom for the students in his class to be able to use. And I know what you're thinking. Well, I would be thinking this, and I do quite often think this. When do you have the time to sit down and prep work? I don't have the time. I'm a typical stay-at-home mom where I'm running around like a chicken with my head cut off. But this kind of stuff is really important to me. So I woke up super early, made sure I had my cup of coffee, and I'm going to spend 20 minutes doing this. If I'm not all finished in 20 minutes, then maybe I'll come back another morning and do it. But yeah, don't stress yourself out. Don't feel like you have to do things a certain way. If you're a teacher, hopefully your school gives you prep time where you can prep your classroom, especially if you're a Montessori teacher. You know we have to prep all of our materials, reset them throughout the day. I like to keep my strips in like a plastic Ziploc or a certain container just for those strips. And I'll say, okay, I'm going to refill the tray 5 times today. And after 5 times, we're finished with snipping for the day, right? Or I'm going to put my free cutting out 3 times today, and 3 students can choose that today. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed like you have to restock this cutting activity every 5 seconds because your children have just gone through a million strips. So normally I'll do like a stack of 5 strips, 3 strips, depending on the age of the child or the capacity. And then they get to use those 3 or 5 strips to do snipping, and then make their collage or whatever they would like to create with it. It's totally up to them. And some children don't even want to make the collage. They just want to do the snipping. That's fine. That has a whole basket of tons of snippings. So if a child doesn't want to snip, they can just come up to the scrap tray and get some pieces for their collage and go about their business. So it totally depends on the flow of the classroom, the needs of the child, where they're at, and that's our job as educators, to observe the needs of the classroom, observe the needs of the child. So yeah, I'm gonna get started. It's very early. My kids are still asleep. My husband's in the house with them. I'm here in our old camper, and I'm gonna do some prep work and listen to some music, have my cup of coffee. Join along with me if you want. Okay, as you can see, I've drank some more coffee. I've got snips, I've got strips, and I've got free cutting blocks. Yay! Okay guys, thank you so much for watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it's inspired you. I hope your teachers aren't going to freak out when you bring them tons of scrap paper. And yeah, if you have any questions or anything, let me know. Thanks so much. Bye.